You look at qualifications for a Hall of Fame, be it baseball, football, hockey, it has to cover a lot of categories. How did he contribute to the game? How did he contribute after they retired? And the role model they set as what they call a level of excellence. Now, this gentleman may not be a household name in 2021, but if you're a fan of any type of American hockey, especially in Yale or New York, you're probably saying, well, how come this guy's not in the Hall of Fame? And that's a big question. Should have been put in years ago. He died 20 years ago last month. And Murray Murdoch, who is related to every pretty well major family in hockey history, was a stellar player for the Rangers, a stellar coach for Yale for decades, member of Hall of Fames in Canada, but he should be put into the Hall of Fame as part of their veterans wing, which is not very active, but I believe he deserves to be there. Now, born John Murray Murdoch, May 19th, 1904, in Lucknow, Ontario. He was raised in Egerton, Alberta. His parents were Walter Dryden Murdoch, sound familiar, born 1875, and Jenny Bell Jane Murray, born 1878. He eventually received a bachelor's degree in math from the University of Manitoba, where he played hockey from 1921 to 1924. He eventually played left wing for the New York Rangers over 500 games with 84 goals and 108 assists. From the Rangers' first season in the NHL, inaugural Ranger, until the 37 NHL season. From 38 to 65, he was the sixth head coach of the Yale University hockey team, and in 74 he was awarded the Lester Patrick Trophy for his contributions to hockey in the United States. Now, awards and achievements are stellar, and bear with me because there's quite a few. He was a Memorial Cup champion in 1923, Stanley Cup champion 1928 to 1933, Lester Patrick Trophy winner in 1974, Hobey Baker Legends of Hockey College Hockey Award 1987, honored member of the Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame, and in the 2009 book 100 Ranger Greats was ranked number 39 all time of the 901 New York Rangers who played during the team's first 82 seasons. Now, you look at the rough stats. He eventually graduated from University of Winnipeg, Manitoba, to play with the Winnipeg Maroons in 1926 in the CHL. Now, he was a left winger who shot left, 5'10", 178. First season with Rangers, he had 10 points in 44 games, including 6 goals, 28 and 29, and he started his consecutive game streak that, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the most impressive of all time. 14 points in 29, 26 points in 30, 14 points in 44, in 31, 21 points in 32, 16 points in 33, a big 27 points in 34, including 17 goals, 35, 29 points in 48 games, including 14 goals. In his last 2 seasons in the league, primarily as a defensive stalwart, only 2 goals and 25 assists, but nonetheless tremendous. He eventually wrapped up his minor pro career with the Philadelphia Ramblers of the IAHL, Allowed Defunct Association, 13 points in 44 games. Playoff totals in NHL, 21 points in 55 games, including 9 goals. Now, after that stellar career, there was some question he was coming back to North America to coach, or stay in North America to coach, and that's what he did. Started with Yale in 38-39 with a 9-10 record when Yale was still an independent team. He guided the independent, the challenge version of Yale from 1938 to 1961, oversaw the development of many, many strong players. Now, as an independent squad, he went 228, 180, and 19 on his tenure up until 1961. And of course, the big campaign, in my personal opinion, was 51. Where he won 14 2-1, and he won the consolation gold for the NCAA in 52 with a 17-8 record. Now, 4 years for Yale as an independent, ECAC hockey after the independent years, 61 and 65. He ended up 21st overall in 62. 11th overall in 63, 64 overall, 27 overall in 64, and tied for 9th in 65. So independent record and the ECAC record combined 263 wins, 235 losses, and 20 ties. Now, I was talking about these connections of hockey. They're very deep. And that's why I'm quite surprised he's not in the Hall of Fame, because the amount of people could speak up for him. Now, Mr. Murdoch had several family connections with NHL players. Now, the great Ken Dryden and his brother Dave Dryden, great as well, are his first cousins twice removed. Jane Murray Murdoch's parents were Jane Murray and Walter Murdoch, born 1875. Walter's half-sister Maggie Murdoch married Andrew Dryden, and their great-grandsons are Dave and Ken Dryden. Now, Mark Messier and Paul Messier are related by marriage to Murray Murdoch's wife, Mary Heinrich. Marie was the daughter of George Heinrich and Ina D., and Ina's brother John D. married Alice Dodd Stiles, and their grandsons are the Messier brothers. Now, Billy D., the great player, the NHL star, is also related by marriage. Ina D. and John D.'s brother Howard D. is Billy D.'s father, and also played professional hockey. Now, another one of D's siblings, Christine, married Murray Murdoch's uncle, his father Walter's brother, Lovell Steele Murdoch, their children being Murray Murdoch's cousins, former Ranger Don Murdoch and former California Golden Seal, Cleveland Baron, St. Louis Blue, and Montreal Canadian Bob Murdoch, are grandsons of Lovell Steele Murdoch and Christine D. Murdoch, and distant cousins of Murray. So quite a legacy in hockey. But the years with the Rangers, you look at 28 and 33 on that list, just to recount. 1928, 2 goals in 9 games, and again, big 7 points in 8 games in 1933. But the Rangers of that era were quite strong, and he built a foundation as an original Ranger alone should be recognized. Now, will Murray Murdoch ever get in the Hall of Fame? But the problem is most of the media that could vote for him are either retired or dead, so it would take probably maybe a legacy of maybe Ken Dryden or Mark Messier to look at it, see if Lanny McDonald also can be involved. But for me, I heard legends about him. Very, very smooth player, good defense, good on offense, very gentlemanly player. But I look at the consecutive game streak, ladies and gentlemen, that really stands out. And the big question was, would he reach 500 games, consecutive games? And if you see the ad, what we're talking about. But Murray was a tough guy, ladies and gentlemen. And you got to be tough to play for the Rangers in that, what they call the dark rink era of the NHL. So if you like what we're doing with our vintage podcast, let us know with a like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget the NHL playoffs tonight. Get yourself a carton of Dixie Lee chicken, or get yourself some North Shore Dorniers. Enjoy it. I really don't know what's going to happen with the game tonight. I'll let you know when it's done, because I've seen Montreal win and lose so many different ways in the playoffs since the 1970s. Remember, with the Islanders in '77, he took Montreal to 6 games. So I never count out any team that gets up to play for Montreal, and Vegas needs to play. If you want to win, you got to learn how to play Montreal Canadiens hockey. Thanks for listening. Bye.